Good evening, and thanks for joining episode 3 of my Scottish Highlands Adventure. After a long series of flights and some mishap at the airport getting my luggage, check out episode 2, I made it to Grand Central Station Hotel in Glasgow and have my room. Champagne Central, the hotel lounge, is open for a bit, so let's check it out before heading up to the room. It's been a long day.
Well, I have 2 days here in Glasgow, and according to the guidebook, I should be seeing the Glasgow Cathedral. I'll be taking the hop-on, hop-off bus today, and I've got about 5 different stops that I definitely want to go take a look at. One is the Glasgow Cathedral. There's also the Tennent Brewery that's nearby, and we're going to go by the river. We'll see what else happens along the way. Well, it looks like breakfast is done. Time to go.
From the hotel, I can walk directly into the Grand Central Station. This is the busiest station in Scotland, opened in 1879, and now services 33 million passengers annually. Beautiful station. Now I'm on my way to George's Square. Well, it's a beautiful morning in Glasgow this Sunday, and we are at George's Square. George's Square is one of 6 civic squares in Glasgow, named after King George III and laid out in 1781. The square boasts an important collection of statues and monuments. The east side of the square is the site of the World War I memorial. The 80-foot-high column in the center of the square celebrates Sir Walter Scott. And there's the hop-on, hop-off bus, my tour guide for the next 2 days in the City of Glasgow. With this first hop-off stop, I can visit 3 Glasgow sites, starting with the Cathedral and Necropolis and then to the Tennent Brewery. First stop is Glasgow Cathedral, a parish church with the Church of Scotland. It's the oldest cathedral in mainland Scotland, one of 2 medieval churches remaining. This was the seat of the Archbishop of Glasgow. History of this church site goes back to the 6th century. In the 12th and 13th century, the church was expanded and played a part in the First War of Scottish Independence in 1301, with visitors such as Robert the Bruce, William Wallace, and King Edward, among others. Located a short walk from the cathedral is the Necropolis, a Victorian cemetery of 37 acres in Glasgow, which overlooks the cathedral, a beautiful view. As I walk up through the cemetery, it's not hard to imagine that over 50,000 people have been buried here since 1832, which include many lords and prominent leaders in the community, along with war heroes from the First and Second World Wars. It's a beautiful view from top of the Necropolis. See the City of Glasgow. Now, onto the Tennent Brewery. Looks close on the map, just across the bridge and down the street. But I think it's a wee bit of a walk. Tennent's Well Park Brewery on Duke Street is in the east end of Glasgow. This brewery was originally known as the Drygate Brewery, founded in 1740 at the Drygate Bridge near the cathedral. Tennent's Lager is Scotland's best-selling beer with approximately 60% of the market share. This lager was once famous for the design of the cans, which featured photos of various female models. Tours are available at a price and take about an hour. However, closed on Sunday. And on my walk back to the pickup point for the hop-on, hop-off bus, there is this curious flea market that I must check out. On to the next stop. People's Palace and Winter Garden. This is a museum and glasshouse in Glasgow Greens and was opened in January 1898 by the 5th Earl of Rosebery. This museum has exhibits on World War II, and the common people's housing districts, which are very interesting. Here we see a typical Glasgow one-room flat, a studio apartment today. One should not miss this very interesting exhibit on drinking and dancing halls. This is quite an interesting museum. Definitely worth the visit. Clydside Distillery, opened in 2017, is the next stop, and we have a wee bit of a ride before the ultimate single malt whiskey experience.
Not used to a Scottish accent, I have quite a strong one. So if at any point during the tour you do not understand what I am saying and I'm speaking too quickly, please ask me to slow down or repeat myself. It is not a problem. I'll only be a little bit offended.
Located beside the River Clyde, in the pump house building of Queen's Dock, Clydeside Distillery celebrates the heritage of the shipbuilding era in Glasgow. Queen's Dock was once a transportation hub for whiskey traveling around the world.
Depends on how you want to hold it. Some people are going to hold it like that, because then you can rip, you know?
Okay.
Oh, this is the one, guys. This is the next whiskey you're trying. This is spent 3 years in a sherry cask. You can lift this up and give this a smell if you haven't already. Hopefully, you're going to be getting sort of raisins, sultanas, star anise, cinnamon. Sort of either some people get more of a spice tone, some people get more of a fruit tone. I think for me as well, you get like Christmas cake sometimes, you get that kind of mix of fruit and spice, that sort of idea. And again, if you haven't already, Slàinte mhath. So yeah, Slàinte mhath, Scots Gaelic, cheers for good health. And for all of you in the crowd tonight, Sure Alpha is free Scotland. Oh, you got whiskey? Oh, just a wee dram. Which is the exact same size as just a full stop dram, but as long as you put wee in front of it, it makes you feel better about it. So, if you want to as well, guys, there's wee pipettes full of water in front of you, and feel free to add a couple of drops of water if you prefer your whiskies that way as well. If you finish your whiskies as well, you can rinse out your glasses with the water as well before we go on to the next whiskey. And if you don't want to drink your whiskey at all, feel free to use the bucket of sadness. No one will judge you for it. Gentlemen, Slàinte mhath, Sure Alpha.
I must say, that was a great whiskey tour. Thanks to Cameron. On my way back to the Grand Central Hotel. Hey, good morning. I'm in Glasgow. This is day 2. Yesterday was a beautiful sunny day, but today, 100% chance of rain, so I'm layered up. Fortunately, I left enough things on my list to go see today that are all indoors. Let's go check it out. Well, we're at the Riverside Museum. This is the Transportation Museum, and looks like there's a tall ship out back. The museum has a street scene set up that depicts the Glasgow life in the early 1900s, with horse-drawn streetcars, shops, cars, and a subway. A great place for a kid like me to explore. The subway exhibit is straight ahead. The display of vehicles is awesome, and a very interesting take-apart exhibit of an early 1900s Ford Model T four-door sedan where someone can see how it was put together. Let's check out the tall ship Greenlee. Built at Queen's Dock in 1896 and sailed around the world delivering cargo to the United States, Australia, South Africa, and Indonesia. The ship was refurbished for this exhibit and gives a perspective of life on the high seas. The captain's cabin is small, but has a nice bathroom with a tub. There's an early flight exhibit, which reminds me, I gotta fly and catch the bus. Next stop, Kelvingrove Art Museum. The museum opened in 1901 and has 22 galleries, which range from medieval weapons, arts and animals, ancient Egypt, and music. Audio tours are available by downloading a free Smartify app for your phone. It's a short walk in the rain through Kelvingrove and down by the river to Ashton Lane, which is a narrow cobbled street behind Byers Road, near the University of Glasgow. This lane is lined by Victorian buildings with a vibrant restaurant and social scene in the evening. Glasgow University was founded in 1451, the second oldest university in Scotland, with over 26,000 students on an 85-acre campus in the heart of the city. Thanks for watching Tommy's Holiday and my 2 days in Glasgow. A very fun time. Like and subscribe if you'd like to see more Scottish Highland adventures. Tomorrow I pick up a rental car and a scenic drive into the Highlands. Glencoe, here I come.